Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. When the Warrior of Light and Alice get back to Victor's spoils, it's pretty clear that something is wrong. The place is too quiet, and Alphinaud is nowhere to be seen. You find him behind a building, injured, with 3 Garleans who are doing way worse than he is. They had asked him to help carry some supplies, which he did because he was being his usual helpful self. But when they got behind the building, they attacked him. That didn't end well for them. One of the men survived the beating that Alphinaud gave them, and he thinks that they were right to attack him because it's clear that the savage Eorzeans are just there to take advantage of the Garleans' currently weakened condition. Considering all their nation has done to enslave other people, believing that their enemies are suddenly there to help them in their hour of need is a hard pill to swallow. Alphinaud tries to convince the Garlean that they really are there to help, but Alice thinks that'll have to wait for later. She found some empty medicine bottles and a warm bed that someone only recently got out of, which has her thinking that what Jarek said about Licinia having a sick sister is true, and the 2 of them have run off. The other Garleans help them get away without the Scions seeing them to keep them safe from you and yours. Even though they likely won't survive out there in the frozen wastes alone, it's better for them to die free than to suffer whatever fate your people have in store for them. I'm not one to force my help on anyone who doesn't want it, but the twins and the Warrior of Light are not like that, so they race off to try and find the sisters before something bad happens to them. You all find both sisters, but they're already very dead, all because they were more scared of you and your magic than the beasts that roam the area. Not wanting to leave the 2 girls' bodies out there to become food for some wild animal, the twins bring them back to Victor's spoils and buries them before heading back to Lucia to tell her what happened. They think that's the best course of action since sticking around and talking to the Garleans is only making things worse. When you tell Lucia what happened, she decides that it may be for the best if you all change the way you deal with the surviving Garleans. That way you may avoid triggering their fight or flight response. Maxima decides to go to Victor's spoils himself to see if the refugees respond a little better to one of their own offering help. They should have had a Garlean in their group in the first place, but better late than never. While your group was out scaring people to death, Istola and the other healers cured some of the tempered soldiers, and they were willing to share information just like Maxima said they'd be. When Varys was killed, Nerva declared himself the new emperor, which led to other factions going against him, especially the First Legion, who was still loyal to Varys. Even though they were at war, none of the factions liked the idea of turning the capital into a battleground, since the winner wouldn't exactly have a throne left to sit on, but something took over their minds and made them do exactly that. The nation was never as stable as the Eorzeans had thought. Even back during the assault on the Gimli Dark, Nerva and his dad Titus, who had wanted Varys' position, had taken advantage of the fact that Xenos had been taken over by Elidibus to try and remove them from their position of power. Their plan hadn't worked because a lot of Titus' supporters suddenly died under suspicious circumstances. Those mysterious circumstances likely came from the Ascian making them disappear, since there was no evidence that Varys had anything to do with it personally. Titus and Nerva assumed that Varys was wiping out his political enemies, so they started getting their own counterattack ready. The perfect opportunity came when Xenos committed patricide and Gaius got blamed. They claimed the Emperor's seat, so the First Legion accused them of murdering the Emperor and the war broke out. Wars take money and resources, but the odd thing is both groups were being funded by the same family, House Brutus, which is led by Asahi, who is actually Fandaniel. He got the Garleans to fight each other, then one night after the fighting started, a massive earthquake shook the whole capital. And after that, the only thing any of the soldiers remember is Varys talking to them in their dreams, saying that the Tower of Babel stands as a testament to the glory of Garlemald. The soldiers thinking that Varys was talking to them matches with the refugees thinking that they were hearing the Emperor through the radio, which Alphinaud had taken with him when you all left Victor's spoils. The strange thing is, the ether coming off of the radio matches the ether of your warding scales, which would explain why some people escape being tempered. Istola is pretty sure that the earthquake that the soldiers felt was a wave of ether from a primal that tempered everyone except for those who were huddled around the radios. While she's breaking down her theory, Serena comes running in to let you know that a Garlean soldier who didn't seem to be tempered just got caught trying to steal some of your supplies. Since it's a perfect opportunity to get more information, you all head out to question this soldier. His name is Julius, and he's not happy to see that Garleans are working with the enemies of his people. Lucia lets him know that you're not there to invade the nation but to help them deal with their current situation. Of course, he doesn't believe her. She does confuse him a bit when she offers to give him the supplies that he needs, but he doesn't plan on negotiating with any of you since he's sure that his commander will deal with you all. If you want to talk to his commander, Julius is willing to take 3 of you to meet him. That sounds like a bad idea, so naturally the twins want to take on the role of representatives and walk right into the enemy's camp to talk. The incident with Licinia is bothering them, and they figure that this is a good opportunity to prove that they really are there to help. It's a better opportunity to get themselves killed, so the Warrior of Light decides to tag along with them and march right into the heart of a Garlean army. And that's where we're going to stop for the day. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Donate to the channel if you can, and I'll see you all next time.